Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another special edition show. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a couple important announcements as well coming your way. Today, inshallah, we're going to be talking Liverpool Football Club. Yesterday we spoke Declan Rice and Arsenal. We spoke... what the hell? How am I bottled it in the intro? We spoke the Man United takeover. Subhanallah, Man United was on my mind. I started coughing. We spoke the Man United Qatari takeover. So we spoke that about the football clubs, and I will just have a special announcement for you guys before we speak about anything. Before I even introduce my guests, before I tell you what we're going to do today, tomorrow, inshallah, 1:30 p.m. UK. We've got Carefree Lewis coming on. We've got Troopz coming on. We're going to talk Kai Havertz to Arsenal. That's going to be one banger of a show. 1:30 p.m. UK. Make sure you show up, inshallah. I know it's afternoon, which usually we don't do shows then, but that's the only time when Troopz is celebrity as it was free. So make sure you tune in 1:30, inshallah, p.m. UK time tomorrow. So let me introduce the guys. Tom Little is off to Thailand. Kurdish is off to Colombia in these next 5-6 days. So we said, before they head off, let's get them in here. So as requested, because he cares about the Europa League a lot, I'm gonna introduce Tom Little first. Joining us on the channel is the Europa League merchant himself, man like Tom Little. How you doing, brother?
I've told you where I'm going on holiday about 6 different times now, and you just keep naming random countries.
Oh, sorry, not Thailand, the Barbados, my bad.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it. I don't get why you're slagging off the Europa League, though.
Even the background's annoying me right now.
It's our fault, we're in the competition.
Look at this. I wish we could just do look. Honestly, does this look nice? Now look at this, Tom. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the difference. When I do this, you feel like a star.
Look at the colours on this one. It's brighter colours. Plus, the Europa League anthem is better.
How do the comment section know? And I don't know. Mexico.
What do you mean? How do you not know? That's all you talked about at the end of the last 3 streams.
First of all, I've already said Tom is irreplaceable. He's the Jordan Henderson of the channel. And anyway, I've introduced the Jordan Henderson of the channel. It's time to introduce the James Milner of the channel. Joining us on the chat, as I said, he's going to be off to Colombia in these next 4 or 5 days. So we'll have him for like 4 or 5 days now. So we're going to milk the crap out of this Tom Kurdish partnership. So joining us on the channel, of course, it is rumored that he's actually wearing a cap in support of me, as he's never worn a cap on this channel before. He just doesn't want to be, that the host, his brother from the Middle East, be the only guy with a hat on. Man like Kurdish has joined us on the channel. How you doing?
Hey, big up. Hey.
No Gucci hats today.
The dude, yeah, new hat, Thomas. The day Jude Bellingham signs, we thought we'd be all very different emotionally, right? We probably would have thought we'd be doing a stream where we're celebrating, where we're joyous, but instead we're doing this, and I'm happy to dissect. And before we start dissecting, this guy next to me, this Mr. Thomas Little, he said, "Oh, it's you are the other side of me. You are the other side of me. You say to me, oh, it's our fault that we're in this. No, it's your fault, and I will tell you why it's your fault. But go on, Hussam."
Okay, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad that we've started like this already.
My fault.
Speaking of started like this already, listen. First of all, Tom, stop playing with your scissors. You're too young to be doing that. Second of all, there's already, we ain't even started yet, 230 people watching us. It's going to be one banger. The people have been waiting for it. Slap that like button. Subscribe to This Is Football this very second. Big up to everyone who supported us in the month of June. YouTube is telling me you guys are sharing the videos more often as well. So make sure you click that share button. Share it on Twitter, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, everywhere. Share it so the people can come watch. Like the video and subscribe to This Is Football. And since there's 250 people in here already, today's tax to see Bald Hussam is 250 likes. Slap that like button. We get to 250 likes, you're going to see Hussam Nurmagomedov. So I'm not going to keep postponing this crap any longer. There's no one to start with. But man, like Kurdish, talk to the people, akhi. They want to hear from you.
I'm intrigued
Okay.
how it's my fault we're in the Europa League.
I've got a list of things I need to get off my chest.
Keep speaking. No one's gonna interrupt you. Go for it.
So I'm going to start with what happened last week, and I'm going to start with the transfer window, right? So, and this is why it's people like him next to me, is because they accept mediocrity. They accept just settling for second best all the time. Tom, I love you. You know that. Don't take it personal. Hey, we need to get Husam's views, so I need to get some drama in here. But anyway, listen.
How you drag me into this?
The problem is, let me tell you what the problem is, right? Last week, I did a whole thing about Jude Bellingham. It wasn't specifically about the player. What it was about is the symbol and what the player means. And I had chaps like this guy next to me, not even top reds, people that we associate with. Oh no, we get MacAllister, we get Koran, we get this. What happened is they took all the PR, they took the vaccine, they took the MacAllister vaccine to give them some level of copium. And then this week, the news came out that FSG are broke, and all of them, all of a sudden, have got side effects from the vaccine. Tom is shaking. Do you know when people took the COVID vaccine, Hussam, people were shaking like this? That was the side impact. This is what people are doing this week. Because they took the MacAllister vaccine last week. They took the MacAllister vaccine because they believed in the hype. They believed they were going to get Kone, Thuram, and MacAllister. Oh, they're going to give you a centre-back too, Hussam. That's not it. And do you know what? Because you're extra lucky today, they're going to give you a left back as well. And do you know what? All of these players, none of them are going to be ready-made. Maybe one will be ready-made. The rest of them, they're going to be good enough to sit on Man City's bench, or they're going to be good enough to sit on Arsenal's bench, or they're going to be good enough to sit on Newcastle's bench. But for Liverpool, they're going to bring Liverpool back up to speed, and they're going to make Liverpool win the title again. Kefran Thuram and Manu Kone, who is wanted by Aston Villa and Wolves, he's going to make us win the title again. Do you understand? And when I was moaning, saying Liverpool Football Club, the biggest sporting institution in the UK, should be in the conversation for players like Jude Bellingham, players like Kylian Mbappe, whoever you want to call. And you say to me, but no, we have to deal with it because this is what we got. And then you get all happy and bring out your little pom-poms and start doing Alexis is Argentinian. Oh, Alexis is Argentinian. He is magic. Pooh. Did you know magic is just an illusion? Magic is just an illusion. Let that sink in. So what you think is magic, he's just pulling wool over your eyes. So this is the thing. I just want to make it very clear. Alexis MacAllister is a very good signing for Liverpool. It's not about Alexis MacAllister. What it is about is the fan base. We almost became like United last week, where they gave us one small shiny toy, Hussam, and everyone was clapping them again. One small shiny toy from the reduced aisle at Brighton. From the reduced aisle, it wasn't even full price. They didn't have the audacity to go buy it at full price. They knew it was reduced. You know, it was a special sale. They got notification. Do you know when you put your notifications on for an item, and sometimes there's a special sale? So they ran to MacAllister, and the fan base forgot everything. The fan base was clapping. FSG are heroes. They're doing shrewd business again. Why are the fan base not asking, and I say this, why are the fan base not asking, for 3 years, you were challenged for everything. You won every trophy there is. Where the fuck is that money gone? Because you didn't spend it on midfielders for the last 3 years. Where is that fucking money now? Because you're telling me I can't sign a player over 50 million. I can't sign a player whose wages go above 100k because I have to get 3 players that fit 150 million. I've been winning things for 3 years. And then they want to get onto my manager. Mr. Klopp, right? Forget Mr. Klopp's errors. Mr. Klopp made a lot of errors last summer. He made a lot of errors. So Sam, I said something to you in January. Do you remember? I said, if he's done all the errors, do you not think he deserves a midfielder? Forget everything else. Forget emotions. But financially, what he's achieved for your club, does he not deserve that? That still stands today. The moment they gave him an ultimatum is the moment they decided they're not backing the manager. And instead of the fan base kicking off and throwing a his fit, because that's what I did, I didn't take the copium because I can see the bigger problems. Everyone else was going, "Ooh, Alexis is magic. He wears this magic hat and he's from Argentina. He's got a World Cup medal." That was it. Oh, he's got a World Cup medal. Jude Bellingham isn't good. We've signed a World Cup winner. A World Cup winner is what we've signed. Fuck off. 99% of life, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for in terms of quality. in terms of anything. It's very rare, very, very rare, you pick up something cheap and it's worth it. Now, I'm not saying Alexis isn't. Alexis is going to be a very good player. But fundamentally, do not sit there and let anybody tell you, for Liverpool Football Club, a window of Alexis MacAllister, Kefran Thuram, and Manu Kone is good enough. That is embarrassing. You are the biggest sporting institution in the UK. If you're not number one, you're number two. The UK is a political powerhouse. Globally, it's a powerhouse, Sam. Do you know what that means? You go anywhere in the world, they know the UK, they're scared of it because it's one of the biggest countries in terms of economy and everything else like that. And you are a powerhouse. And you're telling me a good window is Thuram, Kone, and MacAllister. Where the fuck are your standards? Where are they? Where are your standards right now? As a Liverpool fan, where are your standards? Ask yourself. Because you are the biggest sporting institution in the world, in the UK, and you are not even in the conversation. You don't even walk up to be involved in the conversation for the big players of the world. It's not that you're not even getting them, it's that you're not even going to have a conversation because you know you can't compete. You know you do not have the capabilities. You know you do not have the funds. So why the hell are you going to start defending these owners and people still continue to defend them? This is Liverpool Football Club. Why are we not involved for the biggest players out there? Why are your standards in the mud? Why am I seeing people on Twitter say, how can you say no to a window of Thuram, Kone, and MacAllister? Are you a fucking dickhead? Do you know why I can say no? Because I look at the market and I see 15 players better than them that will improve my squad much better, and they would do it instantly. Because I don't have to continue relying on my manager to work miracles on an aging squad. So don't sit there and tell the fan base, how can you not be happy with a window that Aston Villa would be happy with? Because there's who Aston Villa are going after. Don't do that. Do not gaslight the fan base. Because last week, you were all hoping FSG are going to come back again. This week, the truth has come out. The PR stopped and you're all back on FSG again. This is why I stay consistent. I don't feed into the copium. I don't feed into the bullshit that is Fenway Sports. They told you they're signing 3 midfielders. They're now saying to you it's 1 midfielder and maybe 1 more because we want a centre back. And you all eat it up. You continuously eat this shit up. As soon as MacAllister was there, I keep going back to it. It was cheerleader pom-poms from everybody. Shrewd business by FSG. Shrewd business. Go on. I'll come back. I've got Ian Doyle to get onto as well. Go on.
Go for it.
I mean, I agree with pretty much everything Gerda's just said. I think it just comes down to differing beliefs of what we think it will come. I mean, I think Thuram, Kone, and MacAllister is a solid window by the standards that this club have set. I think the difference is, Kurdish, you have standards that you expect from the club where we should be, because for everything we've achieved in the past 7 years under Jurgen Klopp, we should be sitting at Europe's elite table. We should be shopping for the big players. We should be putting our name on the likes of Bellingham. We shouldn't be getting priced out of it. But what I see is a club that hasn't tried to go eat at that table. So it's not going to start now. And I disagree with that, but it's the matter of fact. I would love for us to go and do it, but we're not going to. So I'm not going to invest myself personally into stuff that isn't going to happen. I have to look at it this way. Kone, Thuram, MacAllister, they're clearly signings that the club wants, that people like, that whatever. You know, there's about 17 people within the recruitment staff. Maybe like 40% of them like them, and it's all right. It's just the standards should be higher, but the standards are never going to be higher because there's too many people that accept the standards where we are, because it could be worse. That's what they always love to say, isn't it? It could be worse. Be thankful. You could be this, you could be that. So, while I disagree with that, nothing's going to change.
How much worse, can I ask?
They always go back to Hicks and Gillette, don't they?
That's the
They always go to the extreme. They always go to the complete.
Yeah, that's like the
extreme.
worst of the worst.
You
That's
could,
the
yeah,
thing.
you could argue it's probably the worst ownership in the Premier League. You could probably argue.
You could
You
even
could
argue
do
that's the worst ownership in Premier League, like history.
Yeah, yeah,
since
yeah,
it
yeah.
was-
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you could argue they almost ran Liverpool Football Club into administration. You know, I'm gonna just say this quickly. You know what convinced me, funnily enough, was Nasser. You know, even though he's a moaning little bastard that I want to slap the crap out of 95% of the time, he actually convinced me when he was kind of talking about this, and he was like, "Man, like we just a year ago were talking about, you know, bringing in a player that has world-class ability that can immediately have an immediate impact on the team. And now we really have just went through the same Moneyball young and inexpensive route. And you know what bothers me about this whole Jude thing has been two things. It's not just Jude the player. It's, for me, the idea that we wasted a whole year basically waiting for nothing. Because the thing is, we all know, everyone's celebrating MacAllister for 35. We could have had him last summer for 20, pre-World Cup medal tax. We could have signed Caicedo for 40. We could have signed Thuram for cheaper last summer. We could have signed Kone cheaper for last summer. So we kind of wasted a whole year. So I understand their perspective as in, you wasted a whole year. Why don't you get me something of quality? And as well, I think the copium from our fan base has become quite pathetic over the last month and a half. And I'll tell you what copium I'm talking about. Everyone has just convinced themselves now that signing Jude Bellingham was like a bad idea, when we've literally been like sending our captain to take showers with him for 2 years straight. And we've been talking about Jude Bellingham for 2 years straight. The earliest Jude to Liverpool tweet dates back to 2021 September. At the start of last season. That's how long ago that link was made. So it's been something that's been going on for a long ass time. And the fact that we kind of just wasted a whole year, and this is something that I mentioned last summer 500 times. We wasted a year of Alisson, a year of Trent, a year of Van Dijk, a year of Salah, a year of Fabinho, a year of Thiago. We wasted a year of these high caliber, high level players for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And I genuinely don't think anyone with an IQ more than his shoe size could be FSG in 2023. I'm just being real with everyone. Unless your shoe size is bigger than your IQ, you cannot be FSG in. It's just getting to the stage now where like it's absolutely pathetic. And Kurdish said something that I want to just go back to before we just kind of continue this conversation. You know, this is the first time, like, in football history, we are the owners of a mansion, but we say we can't park a Ferrari in the garage. That's something that gets on my nerves. Like, you look at it from the perspective of, I'm looking at Arsenal right now. They're renewing contracts and they're signing top-class players. And once again, just for the sake of realism here, I'm not comparing us to Man City or PSG. I'm comparing us to Arsenal. Also has American ownership. They signed Declan Rice for 100 million. Why aren't we looking at those upper echelon, high level, high quality level players? And I think Liverpool Football Club should use this opportunity, in which we are as attractive as we are right now, probably the most attractive we've been as a club in our whole lives, and actually genuinely sign actual top class players who are going to come and make a difference. Because before you know it, there's going to be a cycle. So by the time Kone and Thuram and MacAllister are ready, suddenly we need to replace Salah. Suddenly we need to replace Van Dijk. Suddenly we need to replace the left back. And as the Egyptian singer says, "Liffi bina ya dunya," it's just like, go round and round with us, life. That's the thing. It's just like we're in a roundabout consistently. And we're just going through cycle. And people like Danny will come tell you Rice with 1 year left on his deal is 100 million is a joke. It's not a joke. That's the going price for the absolute top talent. And with all due respect, final statement, I know I've spoken too long. Jude Bellingham is going not to Stockport County, not to like he's going to Real Madrid. He's going to Club Real de Madrid, the biggest club in Europe. Stop convincing yourself that Jude Bellingham wasn't going to be a difference maker for us. Just quickly before we allow Kurdish and Tom speaking, and guys, 450 people are watching us. Record breaking Hussam X Tom X Kurdish. slap that like button, subscribe to the channel. And by the way, you could see my cap off in the next second if you wanted to. 250 likes, and I'm gonna be bald for you guys. So slap that like button, get us to 250 likes, and I'm gonna take my hat off. But go on, guys, with the whole, I don't know whatever.
The only part I disagree with, and I've said it all day, I would love for my football club to be serious. I would love for us to be sitting there at the end of transfer windows with, I'm going to throw names out there, some of Barella, Caicedo, and Lavia. I've just thrown 3 names out there, 3 top targets who want to buy a lot of big clubs. But we simply don't have that money. For whatever reason they are going to run with, we simply are refusing to put up that money. So I have to then look at it. I have to look at what we can do within the confines rather than imagining what we should be able to do. What we can do within the confines is either buy 3 average to good midfielders with potential to be great, or 1 lone, really good midfielder, potentially elite midfielder, and 2 fucking Fabio Carvalhos again. I cannot keep affording to gamble on this midfield. I cannot keep affording to, because eventually it will get to the point where we need to buy 5 in 1 window, and we won't even buy 3. We're barely trying to buy 3, so let alone 5. I have to look at it and go, if you can get me MacAllister, Kone, Thuram, that is a solid window. It is not what I expected at the start of the season. I will be disappointed with it at the start of the season, but I have to accept that within the confines that we are under, it is a solid window with potential to improve, and it clearly aligns with the future planning of this squad.
Okay, so there's two parts to here. So the first part that needs to be addressed is, fundamentally, if we take out all the emotions and take out all of us being accountants and everything like that, what this comes down to is what Tom said. They do not have the capital to run this football club, because let me tell you what happens is, they can't afford wages, so they do it through a bonus structure. So as soon as these players do bonus structure, they then have to put money out of there, which then means they're cutting out on transfers. And if they're not cutting out on transfers, they're paying too much wages. If they're not paying too much wages, they're cutting out somewhere else. So fundamentally, whichever way you look at it, I hate it. It's a meme, but you just do not have the facilities. Whatever you look at it, you don't have the facilities for that. That's the first part. And then Tom, what I have a problem is, I agree with you, and actually, Thuram, Kone, MacAllister is probably the best you can get with what we can do. But then don't sit here, and I don't know if you have, but Hussam has, don't sit here and say, if my manager doesn't win the league, he needs to get sacked. Because fundamentally, when you as a fan base, not us, but the majority of the fan base, not majority, the minority now, I would say, when the minority of the fan base who have the loudest voice, it's always the minority that have the loudest voice in everything. Have you noticed that? It's always the small people that have the loudest
The vocal minority.
Yeah, the vocal minority, right? The vocal minority, they're happy to accept 2nd tier, 3rd tier signings. So why would you finish in 1st place? Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I tell you what, if Arsenal go and buy Declan Rice and Moses Caicedo for 180 million, they have shown more ambitions in 1 window than these owners have for the last 13 years. Let that be known. Let that be known. So this is what it comes down to. We need to align our expectations. If you say to me, top 4 next year and we might win a cup, I say that's fair, because that's the signings that we're making and that's where the team is. But don't give me Kefran Thuram and Manu Kone and they say to me Jurgen Klopp has to win the league, because that means you're setting Jurgen Klopp up to fail. That's what you're doing. You're literally setting up to fail. Because you know deep down, I don't care what anybody says, deep down, Kefran Thuram, Manu Kone are not his first choice signings. Anybody who tells you that they are, you can tell them to go back, to go back and ride a donkey in Kurdistan. That's where I am with them right now. Random people who have never been there, right? But that's my problem. That's my problem. Don't tell my manager, to win the league when your ambitions are Manu Kone. That's Aston Villa. That's Aston Villa.
But my ambitions
I don't like just putting Manu Kone down like that. Yes, he's not what we wanted, but to just say, he's Aston Villa, in the same breath I could say he's PSG. He's Chelsea, because both of them clubs are interested in him.
Let me ask a question, and I know we always say this. We always say we can't compare with Man City. I'm sorry. Realistically, you do have to compare with Man City, because that's what you're up against, right? So you can sit here until the sun stops coming out and the moon doesn't come out anymore, and we hear the Saxon for Judgment Day, and we realize we're all finished because it is Judgment Day, right? And tell me that we're not competing with Man City, but you are. You are. That's what you're up against every year. Do any of the two players that you have mentioned, Kefran Thuram or Manu Kone, get into Man City's team?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
No.
So what are we doing here? What's the point of all this? What
Because,
this?
but we can't,
because this
but
club's transfer
we
strategy
can't
is
make
still
a squad better than
bad.
Man City anyway.
We've never had a better midfield than Man City. Never. Even in our
Never.
pomp, we have never had a
Ever.
better midfield. And because guess what? Our midfield, unless we stick with this new system, and who knows how it's going to play, our midfield has always been the irrelevant part of the team. It's just been stick some fucking runners in there who can hold the ball and can run back, and then you're sound, because we have creators and dangerous players and people who can do their jobs at an elite level everywhere else. The difference is, and I agree with you on the expectations part, I do not expect Jurgen Klopp to win the league next year. I have been
You said
clowned on
challenge.
for it.
You said challenge.
I do expect the challenge. I expect
So
the
can
challenge.
you stop flip-flopping? You said challenge.
Yeah, I don't expect to win it. I don't expect to win it.
Oh, challenge versus win it. Oh, wow. What a massive difference.
It means completely different things.
No, but he's talking about top 4 expectations, though.
No, because we should be getting better than top 4. Because the
Okay,
core of the
so
squad,
then you're more likely to agree with me then.
No, because you're saying if the manager doesn't win the league, he should be gone.
No, Kurdish is saying
No, Hassam, I'm not doing this because you said that. You said that yourself.
I said I'm gonna reassess.
No.
But
I remember you in that
Tom,
space.
You flip-flopped 500 times. You Amarim Merchant.
No.
Don't think we forget.
I still like Amarim.
Amarim and Xabi Alonso. You think we forgot?
Yep.
And
No,
Thomas
I
Tuchel.
still like them.
Thomas Tuchel, who took a shit Dortmund to the last day and had to beat Cologne to win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. So we don't remember your howlers. So here's the thing.
Your howler is expecting Jurgen Klopp to win the league next year, and if he doesn't, you should reassess his job. I look at it this way. We are not good enough to win the league next year because we are not going to overturn a 30-point swing in one season.
Here we go
like
again.
it was 17, 18, 18, 19.
Every time. Like he keeps saying it. This is not the norm.
The gap isn't there. The gap isn't
Tom,
there.
this is not the norm for Liverpool Football Club. This is not the norm.
How is it not the norm?
This is not the norm for Liverpool Football Club.
It is actually the norm.
This
No,
is
it's
the
not
norm.
the norm. No.
This is the norm.
It is.
Can I speak, or are you guys just gonna cry? It's not the norm for Liverpool Football Club. The norm for Liverpool Football Club is winning consistent games of football consistently.
No.
This is the one anomaly season, whether you guys like it or not. With all due respect, I've always said Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, Fabinho, Thiago, and all these guys didn't just wake up one day and suddenly turn into shit players. Like they're still. And by the way, these last 10 games of the season, they showed you that. Van Dijk was playing unbelievable football. Trent suddenly became the best right back in the league again. Salah was banging in goals. Fabinho looked like an apt midfielder again. So with this whole situation, all I'm saying is I'm not going to go into a season, sign 4 or 5 players, and suddenly your expectation is going to be get top 4 when I'm 4 points away from top 4 anyway. And now that whole point swing thing, I've already made this point 100 times and make it again. From August until April, none of the world-class players are playing in the Europa League group stages. Not a single one of them. So from August until April, it's essentially going to be 1 game a week for the world-class players. And on top of that...
Are we going to do the same arguments again, Hassan?
Can I just speak? Thank you. Can I just speak? Thank you. Please. And the second part is, I'm not even saying, by the way, anything ludicrous. I'm not saying beat Manchester City. I'm not saying beat Man United. I'm not saying beat Arsenal away from home. I'm saying beat Palace, beat Brighton, beat Wolves, beat Nottingham Forest, beat whoever comes in as relegated to the Leeds, beat the teams that you're quote-unquote expected to beat. Last time me and Tom got into this argument, we went through the teams that we were quote-unquote expected to beat, and it turned out that there were 10 teams that we were expected to beat. That alone right there is 30 points. So these are the things that matter. So for me, and given the fact that it's going to be a City drop-off, they've just achieved football eternity. They won the treble. You really think they're going to wake up next season and be just as hungry? That's just absolute rubbish. And you all know it. They're not going to be as hungry.
We don't know that though, Sam, do we? We don't, because guess
what? We don't know it because there's human nature.
Because they could go for they could, for the same chance that they could sit there and go, I can't be arsed. I'm gonna
there's
down
literally human nature, man.
You
Are
know,
you going to let me finish? In the same breath that they could just sit there and down tools, they could also sit there and go, we could go win 6 trophies in one calendar year, which has only ever been done by one club before, Barcelona, under Pep. So why wouldn't he want to go do that again? And then once you've done that, it continues to build. Sam, I will go back to the same argument I always make. Liverpool Football Club under Jurgen Klopp is a momentum team. Our best campaigns, our best moments, our longest challenges always come when we're playing consistently 2 games a week. 2 games a week, so we can keep building that momentum, so we can keep flying, keep going. Because guess what? The two years, our 2 best years, I'd say, were 18-19 and 21-22. You can argue 19-20, and I'll touch on that in a bit. 21-22 and 18-19, they were our best years under Klopp. We played the most games in both of those seasons. In both of those seasons, we played the most games out of any English club. And in 19-20, we played the most games out of any English club up until COVID. Up until COVID, when everything just went to shit. And shock horror, we got back to playing 1 game a week and we turned to pot. When we don't play 1 game, when we play 1 game a week, this argument that we are better playing 1 game a week is just, it's not true. Everything points to it not being true. The only benefit it gives us.
But we never experienced that under Klopp, though.
We have.
When?
We have, though. 2021. Under COVID again, it was majority 1 game a week due to the restrictions.
Yeah, but we actually went on the winning run during the whole 1 game a week thing.
No, so January to March when it was 1 game a week, where we lost 6 home games on the bounce.
And why aren't you looking at March till May when the Champions League was done?
Because we were out of the Champions League in March anyway, so I can continue to use January till March. And guess what? We only played 3-4 Champions League games in 2 months. That doesn't equate to a game every week. So that's not 1
game a week.
Okay, guess what? We played a game a week for the majority of that time.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Oh my god.
You've got Leipzig, the 2 Leipzig games, the 2 Madrid games. That's 4 games.
Right, let's go. Let me go find out when the dates for the Madrid games were, because I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 of them were in April.
Whilst you do that, Hussam, listen,
yes.
You've watched Liverpool the same as me, right?
Yes.
Let us not get clouded and illusioned by the last 6 years of this football club. The last 23 years of this football club, we have been a team that's not finished outside top 4 the majority of the time. With this ownership, we finished in the top 4 once before this manager. Let's not pretend we're set up to be winning things continuously. We're not. And actually, it's only the miracle of Jurgen Klopp that's saved us so far. So when I look at that, basically what we're asking, Hussam, if you strip everything away, what we're asking, if you want to win the title this year, is, do you want Jurgen Klopp to work miracles that he's not done before? There's a level of miracle that he's worked. We're asking for Jurgen Klopp to do something that is almost impossible. Almost impossible. We're saying to him, we're giving you 100 million, go beat Man City. Come on.
No, but I don't think it's going to be the Man City of all, though.
You think Man City are going to drop off?
But the thing is, Kardish, there's a reason why no one won 4 in a row. Like 4 in a row is mad. And here's the thing, Kardish. Let me give you a genuine thing. If they didn't win the Champions League, I think they'd come back motivated this season. But the fact that they won the Champions League, they have achieved their ultimate goal, Kardish. You know this. That was their ultimate goal. So it just from a human nature perspective, it's normal for them. And by the way, when we say City fall off, we're not saying City fall off as in drop 500 points. We're saying lose 3-4 more games. That's it. That's not wild.
I think you're being
right.
Like they finished on 83 points.
Let Tom talk, and then I want to talk about Ian Doyle.
I've managed to
find a face only a mother can love. A face only a mother could love.
Right,
and even a mother has doubts. And even the mother has doubts. But go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
So I've managed to pull up the fixtures for that season. There was a run of games. So start of the season was pretty solid. We were playing 1 game every near on 10 days at that point. Pretty solid. And then we got into a run where it was 1 game after this international break, 6 days, 7 days, 7 days.
Tom, there's no need for this breakdown. I've already given you the context.
No, because you haven't. Right, Sam. I'm going to simply ask you again. When have our best seasons been?
19, 20, 18, 19. Those are our two best.
What were
by
we doing
far.
for the majority of that season?
We were challenging Man City, winning games.
Playing 2 games a week, sometimes even 3.
Yeah, of course. Majority of the season,
So,
yes.
so then why would you want to now all of a sudden go to 1 game a week?
Yeah, but those are superhuman seasons. Tom, 103 out of 105 points is not normal.
Okay, that has
and on top of that as well, we had something
nothing to do with my point though, because
No,
we
but it
play
has
better
a
when
lot
we
to
have
do
the
with it.
momentum.
It has a lot to do with it. You're just throwing your toys out
because
the
guess
pram.
what, Hassan? I'm not expecting 103 points out of 105.
Okay,
but
neither am I.
But I know that we play better when we are able to build momentum, and we build momentum by playing multiple times a week.
Europa
So
League
I don't
build
agree
momentum.
with the notion. I do not agree with the notion that we should just
Europa League
play
doesn't build
1 game a
momentum.
week.
Europa League steals momentum away. Ask
Europa League
Arsenal.
does not steal momentum away. It doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Thursday, Sunday is not like Wednesday, Sunday. As much as you want to try cover
the same
it.
as Wednesday, Saturday. It's exactly the same. There's no time difference. If
There
anything,
it's not about time difference. It's about motivational levels.
Oh my God,
It's about motivational levels.
Motivational level. Guess what, Hassan? These players are the reason we're in this competition.
I agree with you.
So then their motivation levels should be high, so they can bounce back, so they can get themselves
league,
out of the
yes.
shithole they've dug us in. Not in the league, because guess what? We're in the reason they're in the fucking competition.
Yeah, and we have 2 teams. Let the second team play in the group stages.
Oh my God.
Tom, you know what's the difference between me and you? Even if you're saying about this whole momentum thing, you didn't even listen to my argument. I said August until April. So I'm talking about the group stages. So I'm not saying the second team should play all the way throughout.
January, what am I doing for the knockouts? Just playing the kids again?
No. I said from August until April.
Yes, the knockouts end. The knockouts start, in February.
Yeah, but not for us if we top the group. It's gonna because we qualify directly round of 16.
Let me just make sure that I'm right, because that is a. Let me just make sure. I need to find.
Yeah, I think if we round of 16 starts in April, bro. Come on.
16.
Okay, let me just read these super chats before. Let me read the super chats before Kurdish goes to Ian Doyle, because I actually am very intrigued in listening to this. Before we read the super chats, people are asking in the comments how many likes for Hussam's hat to be off. 250 likes. There's 550 of you here. If every single one of you click the like button in the next 10 seconds, we'd be on 250 likes and my cap's going to come off and you get to see bald Hussam. So slap that like button, subscribe. Big up to Amin who says, if Barella goes to Newcastle, Liverpool should be ashamed. Fabrizio just tweeted that whole Barella thing, the Newcastle Barella thing, apparently ain't real and blah, blah, blah. So we'll wait to see. But I think all 3 of us would absolutely throw our toys at the pram if he got signed for 50 million. We'd lose it. Kurdish is right. The midfields are good, but not on their own. We need defenders as well. No, I agree with you. We definitely need a centre back. And if we don't sign a centre back, we are all going to complain about it too. Please don't think we're going to change our energy. Like, no, there's no LFC ban on the stream. Like, oh my God, you guys cried for midfielders last summer and you got a midfielder, so you can't cry now. No. We will continue to complain when we feel necessary. Thank you so much, Momo. Big up to Tony, who says Arsenal linked with Rice and Caicedo, Newcastle, Barella. The ones we're linked with are good, but a tier below. I agree with you. But at the same time, Jurgen Klopp is a tier above both Eddie Howe and Arteta. So, like, that's where this whole confidence comes from, because I back my manager instead of asking for Ruben Amorim. Thank you so much, Tony, for the super chat. Big up to Balaji, who says, is there a remote possibility that Klopp weighs PR Jones and Bajcetic to do well and develop? LFC PR is dead without Champions League, since no Champions League money, no quality. No, but the thing is, we don't sign the quality players even with the Champions League, even with us being Premier League winners, even with us being Champions League winners. So I don't think there's any difference. This is just the way we do business, and that's why me and Kurdish and others have had a problem with it for a long time. Like, we can't be doing business this way. You can't be this attractive and sign nobodies, with all due respect. Big up to you, Balaji. As a United fan, he's speaking facts. Definitely talk about Kurdish there. Toby says, do all of you... no, he actually sent it while you're speaking, Kurdish. I'm not sending shots, I promise. Do all of you like football for the expectation of winning, or do you watch with the possibility of winning? FSG spent money and you're still not happy. See how I knew? See how I called it before I read the super chats? I know exactly what these type of people are like. Toby is the type of guy that if we just signed MacAllister, he'd be happy. He'd be like, weren't you guys moaning about a midfielder? Here, we spent 35 million. Oh, we broke the club budget. 35 million. Unbelievable. Oh, wow. So much money. 35 million. 35 million is like 5 million 10 years ago, Toby. Honestly, get it together. Toby. One day you're gonna win.
Why would I go in again though? I don't watch football with an expectation or a possibility. I just watch football because it's Liverpool.
Yeah,
I don't watch the sport for that. I want to win, and against certain opposition, I expect to win, but I don't watch the sport to win. I don't watch the sport because there's a possibility of winning. I watch the sport to support a team. So it's a pretty pointless thing.
It's just dumb. No, but Toby is dumb anyway. But we thank him for the super chat. Vocal minority is happy to accept second to third tier signings while your manager sits in contempt. He does the same thing. Soft guy, contradicting yourself. Kurdish, anything to say back to Mr. Selection? Tom's bestie?
Again, I agree. That's where my manager should do much better. But then what do you do? You go again. You know they'll sack him. Listen, I always say this: if Roman Abramovich can get rid of Jose Mourinho in his first stint, no one's untouchable. No one. Oh, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. That's where we are. But one thing, Sam, somebody DM me, big up, I mean, in the chat, and he said you need to understand Pep's motivation is going to be through the roof. He's going to want to do the fourth Prem just to beat Fergie's record. It's true.
Yeah, but next year's the one where you usurps everything. Next year's the one where he usurps everything, and the year after is where he goes, right, I've got no other point now. I'm in the last year of my deal anyway. It's irrelevant.
No, but the thing is, like, Pep might have that motivation, but I'm just talking about merely the players. Do the players want? Because as me and Tom found out when we went back to that 2020-2021 side, I swear there's only like 12 or 13 out of the squad that are still there. So like,
yes, that's a good thing.
No, because you're saying 4 in a row.
Yes, your whole point is you think
motivation for Pep, not for everyone.
Okay, your whole point is you believe that the squad could down tools because they've won it all now.
Not down tools. Please quote me correctly. I said they're gonna lose 3 more games. That's what I'm saying.
Lose motivation.
Yeah, not be as motivated. 100%.
Okay, then my counterpoint to that is this isn't the squad that's won 3 in a row. This is a squad that's won 1.
Yeah, 11 of them are.
2. So then there is no reason for them to lose motivation because they haven't won it all.
No, but Tom, this is not my argument. This is Kurdish's argument. I'm responding to Kurdish's argument.
But your point is that you believe Manchester City will drop off next year?
Yeah. My point is different to his. He's saying Pep's going to win 4 in a row. That's his motivation. I'm saying many of those players, same players, don't share that motivation. At the same time, because they've achieved the ultimate goal for them, which is win the Champions League, just out of human nature, they're going to drop off a little bit. That's all I'm saying. And when I say drop off once again, I'm saying lose 3 more games. I'm not even saying anything crazy. Big up to Joe says Liverpool needs 6 to 8 players with departures. FSG will not sign any top players ever. Look at the Red Sox and Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll never win any title with Man City, Man United, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal. Joe, I'm so happy you sent that super chat because I actually want to focus our aim more on that now in the second part of the show. I want to speak about the future of this football club because I think Kurdish as well has a few things to say. So does Tom, because as I tweeted out, Joe, and I genuinely believe this, I see us becoming the Atletico Madrid of the Premier League over the next 10 years. Win 2 league titles and the other 8 to just be quote unquote competitive. So that's my thing. So Joe, I think it's going to be a dark future for us. JK says, I agree with the general consensus of the stream. A lot of the no nonsense facts, but what is the solution here? Please, how do we change this realistically? How we change this realistically is for our fan base to actually grow a pair. Stop behaving like that dumbass Toby in the comment section and all the idiotic top heads who would rather attack Konate and defend FSG, like that idiot Melvin Wood, who is fully attacking Konate just to defend FSG at all costs. Stop buying merch. I haven't bought a Liverpool shirt for the last 7 years. I have not bought a single Liverpool shirt since 2015. Actually show the ownership how disgruntled you are. And let me tell you why the top reds are hypocrites before I just read these last 2 super chats. We move on. Let me tell you why they're hypocrites. Me, Tom, and Kurdish have heard the same exact statement. If Jurgen Klopp is not given Jude Bellingham this summer, all Liverpool fans are going to turn on FSG. We're not going to allow for us to wait a whole year and not get Jude Bellingham. We're all going to riot. And then now, they're on Twitter now. His @ is SMX LFC. What is he tweeting? He's tweeting, isn't getting Thuram, Kone, and MacAllister better than just Jude? Oh my God. That's what happens on Earth. Big up to you, JK. Qusay says, I agree with Hussam. Can't see us not winning from January to March next season. Last season was a one-off. I agree. We will make up that difference. I agree with that as well, depending on the signings, though, because we could sink real low. Real low is Gabby Vega. How many points you predict for City next year? I think City are going to be around that 81, 82, 83 point mark. So I'm not even saying, when I say drop off, please understand, I'm not saying they're going to fall off a cliff and be crap. I'm just saying at the start of the season, because they'll have less motivation as a part of a human nature, as they've achieved everything there is to achieve, and they're going to have a Club World Cup to look forward to and a UEFA Super Cup, they're just going to have 2 or 3 more losses. That's all I'm saying. Nothing wild whatsoever. And Sidi just ends it with a super chat that I'm going to keep on the screen so we can discuss, because this is what I want Tom and you know, Kurdish to speak on next. This whole situation. Klopp is the band-aid over an infected wound. What a super chat, Qusay. Big up to you, man. There's never been a better one. Peyrad says, Jude Smellingham, they're about to smell a Champions League trophy or a Liga title while we're sat here smelling Europa League. Sidi says, we're finished. There's no hope. And this is what I want to talk about now, because I want to let Kurdish rant on Ian Doyle, because it's all linked to FSG. Because this is where me and Tom and Kurdish and Ads and the people from Spaces and G and Jerry and everyone, we can disagree till tomorrow. But one thing we do agree on is the biggest problem at this football club is Fenway Sports Group. There is no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. Tom would even agree. If I gave Tom right now an option, you could get rid of Klopp and get Amorim, or you could get rid of FSG. He's getting rid of FSG. I know Tom. So this is the thing. We have to get rid of this ownership. We all agree. That's why we flew planes. That's why we use the hashtag. That's why we spread awareness. That's why we speak on Fenway Sports Group. And now with this whole Qatar Man United thing happening, and with Newcastle having Saudi Arabia, and with City having UAE, and with Chelsea having ambitious Todd Bowley, and Arsenal having ambitious Stan Kroenke. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So, before we carry on, big up Peyrad, Amin, Momo. Big up to... Who the hell is this guy? Big up to Balaji. Big up to Depay. Who's the guy that starts with Y? Tony Yalda. What a name. Big up to Toby, even though you're an idiot. Big up to Selection. Big up to Joe, JK, Qusay, Here to There, and Sidi, Peyrad for the super chats. Big up to Ryan. We're going to read it out in a second. So, 250 likes. My hat's going to come off. We are 10 likes away from 250 likes, where you can get to see bald Hussam. So slap that like button now and subscribe to this football. By the way, big up, guys. We have hit 14K subscribers. So thank you guys so much. We'll continue to bring you content. Tomorrow, inshallah, Troopz and Lewis are coming on 1:30 p.m. UK time to speak on Havertz and Declan Rice to Arsenal. So make sure you tune in for that. I think we're both going to crash it on Troopz. So yeah, keep liking the video. Keep subscribing. We're this close to 250 likes. Let's do it. Kurdish. Go ahead, Habib. Talk to me.
Hey, big up on the 14K, man. This is football every day. Anyway, Ian Doyle.
Where's my big up, Tom? You rude bastard.
Ian Doyle.
I was just finding some more FSG slander. You know, just before this goes, you know, all these new stands and training ground things that FSG get praised for. You know, because they've improved the infrastructure. No. The big issue with that is FFP, you know, the reason why FSG is still, you know, kicking about. FFP is designed to stop owners from funding transfers per se, but you are allowed to invest as much of your own capital into the club's infrastructure, into training grounds, into new stands, into upgrades, etc. So why the fuck has the training ground and has the 2 upgraded stands been paid for out of the club's pocket? Why have we had to? Right way. Why have we had to
doing it the right way?
The right way.
Why have we had to foot the bill for that? Because that has cost us in the end. That money is stuff that is a precious commodity for us, because that is the stuff that we can spend on everything. We can't spend the owner's money on transfers because FFP kicks in. But we could spend the money we make. But no, the money we make is going on fucking more hospitality seats in the fucking Anfield Road end. They're not going to be filled when we're fucking mid-table, are they? They're going to be filled.
But you know what it will be, Tom? When they sell the club on, the stadium will make them much more money than players or the current situation of the team. It's an asset, so it gives them more money. Can we talk about Ian Doyle?
Yes, you can. I would love to crash on that.
Ian Doyle, big up Ian Doyle, a man who's
Don't
got
big him up.
Just
He's
let
an
me
astronaut.
land. Let me
Shut
land.
up.
Sam, cap off. 250.
Sam, cap off, and then I'll go.
No, it's not. We're 3 likes away. I'm on the screen right now.
Look at the comments.
We're literally 3 likes away. I'm looking at the number. 247, 248. Go on. 2 likes. 249. We're 1 like away now. So get us there. Yalla, go on. Sorry, Carlos.
So
No,
Ian
you're
Doyle,
on 261.
Oh,
yeah,
now it just
261.
switched.
Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Look at this. Look at this.
This reminds me of when I was a kid and I used to go on Omegle, and you'd see a girl and you'd be like,
You had Omega when you were a kid.
yeah, you know Omegle. It used to be called chat roulette. It used to be called chat roulette, Tom.
Oh, chat.
It used to be called chat roulette.
Ball of the time
when,
in the
when,
building.
when you're like 12 years old and you see a girl and you're just like, do this, do this.
That is
Anyway.
haram, and I don't support that.
Let
message.
me talk
Go
about
on.
Ian Doyle. Ian Doyle, a man who walks around with a face like he's been stuck in monsoon season in Asia all the time. All the time. He looks like he's just come out of the monsoon season, full rain. When I look at Ian Doyle and the sun is shining, the sun no longer shines in the day. Ian Doyle has the ability, just by looking at you on his face, not even writing or anything or speaking, to make a sunny day into a depressing one. You look at it, and when we think about paradise, we think of free-flowing milk that's made out of gold, and we think about all the beautiful women, and we think about the beautiful cotton. When I think about paradise with Ian Doyle in, I think about hell. I think about fire. I think about, the worst thing possible. Ian Doyle is a man who looks at art, and the art wants to cry out of pain. It wants to cry out of pain. Ian Doyle is a man that his own mother struggles to love. That's who Ian Doyle is. And you know why I'm crashing on Ian Doyle? Because Ian Doyle is everything wrong with Liverpool Football Club. Every single thing wrong that you can think of that's happened with this fan base can be summarized by looking at Ian Doyle's face. Ian Doyle's a man in life who's gone through a lot and is now getting a little bit of reward, but because he's gone through so much in his life, so much in his life, that any little thing he gets now, he goes, oh no, it was so bad back then, I'm super grateful now. I'm working for the Echo now and I'm more grateful for that than ever. Because let me tell you, last year, Hussam, when you were telling people we need signings, when I was telling people we need signings, when anyone with half a brain was telling you need signings, anyone with half a brain, Ian Doyle was telling us we don't need signings. And the problem you have now then, Ian Doyle is the same person who's wrote an article today about how top 4 would be a good achievement for Liverpool. So when people ask you, oh, if we go out top 4 for 1 year, what happens? It's just 1 year, you dickheads. Just enjoy it, you twats. 1 year makes all the difference, because 1 year, instantly your expectations are changing from winning the title to getting back into top 4. And all of a sudden the PR machine comes out. So Mr. Ian Doyle, who told me last year, I don't need anything and I'm ready to challenge for a title again, just think about what I'm saying to you. He said to me, we don't need anyone and we're ready to challenge for the title, is now telling me if I get 3 players in, I'll be lucky to get 4th. What's happened in a year, Ian? What's happened in a year? And instead of coming out, because he's a distasteful man, you can see in his face he has no joy. As I said, when it's a sunny day, he looks at the day and it turns grey, it turns dark, it turns dark. When you look at him, instead of coming out and saying, I apologize to the fan base because I got it wrong, he continues with this arrogance because he goes, oh, at least we do it the right way. At least we do it the right way. Ian, wake up. You're a socialist club that's owned by venture capitalists. Don't sit there, Ian, and try and make a moral ground because now you've got a little bit of ego and pride that you want to save. Come out and say the way you defended these owners last year was not good enough. And because of the neglect and the decline of this team, now no matter what they do, it's going to be really difficult to get back up to where it was. Say that. Say that. Don't try and save face and say, but this is to be expected. Don't sit there with your arrogance because you have nothing to be arrogant about. Nothing. When a baby looks at you, it cries. It cries. It doesn't smile. You know, When I see a baby and I say, "Oh, you okay, sweetheart? You okay?" The baby giggles, goes, and it smiles because I'm a positive person. I smile. I try and give out good energy. When a baby looks at Ian Doyle, it runs to his mum. It turns around. It runs back to mum. So fuck you, anyone at the Echo, Theo Squires, Ian Doyle, Redmen TV, fuck you, because you told us what would happen is only 1 year if Liverpool drop out of the top four. What happened? Because 12 months ago, we were ready to challenge for everything. 1 year we're out of the top four. Going back in top four is good enough now. Can you see how 1 year changes everything? Do you guys see that? Do you see that? Do you see how the standard dropped in 12 months? The standard was we don't need any signings because we're ready to go again. All of a sudden, in 12 months, the standard is we need signings just to make top four. And you guys should be happy. That's what Ian Doyle told me. He told me we should be happy. And one more thing, do you know what I enjoy the most? People thought I celebrated Man City winning because I enjoy Man City or something. No, I enjoy Man City winning because it gives pain to people like Ian Doyle who try to gaslight this fan base all the time. Because I'll tell you what, Hussam, Ian Doyle doesn't reply to tweets. But you know when Man City won the treble, he was replying to tweets at 12:30 a.m. 12:30 a.m. He was trigger fingering like a 13-year-old girl who's just been dumped by her boyfriend. So emotional. So don't sit there, act all emotional when City win it, and then try and play the moral high ground and say we do it the right way. You're a fucking hypocrite, right? That's what you are. And go every day before bed. I hope you look deep in your heart, and realize you have let the standards of this football club down. You, Ian Doyle, and anyone associated to you that you work with, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Because you accepted this last year, and now you're accepting top four. Rather than coming out and apologizing, apologize. Grow a pair and apologize and say, I was wrong last summer. Say, I was wrong last summer. Have some dignity as a journalist. Have some credibility as a journalist. Don't die down on something that you're wrong at. And every night, I hope you see Man City lift that treble because I know it pains you deep down because it goes against everything you stand for. And by the way, it goes everything against we stand for too. But we're awake because we realize football is going this way. You want to fight the world. If you want to do that, you do that. But don't do it at the expense of Liverpool Football Club. If you want to blow a trumpet on your own ego and make yourself big and feel like you're saving the world, don't do it on the credit of Liverpool fans. Don't gaslight Liverpool fans. Understood? And from now on, smile more. Maybe your own mother will actually welcome you a little bit more. Negative prick.
So, Kurdish, what are your thoughts on Ian Doyle?
Stand it.
You know, the thing is, like, everything you're saying is just so painfully true. Because all these people who accuse the likes of myself and you last summer of being negative for views or fake fans or etc., all they did was in January they said everything we said last May. That's all they did. If you look at every single person who disagreed with us in January, they were saying the exact things that me and you were
Do you
saying
know what
last
it is, Hussam? Hussam, I don't mind it. I don't mind it if you come out and just say, I apologize, I got it wrong, I tried to gaslight the fan base. Don't come out now, 12 months after you told me we don't need any signings and we're going to challenge for the title, tell me even if we get signings, we'll be lucky to get top four. Don't fucking do that. Don't gaslight me. Don't do that. I don't know who you think you are. I don't know who you think you are. Because when I look at you, as I say, I want to grate my face with a cheese grater. That's how much dark clouds you give me just when I look at you. So who do you think you are? Who do you, Yani, look at me. Can you see I'm going red? How hot I am. I'm getting angry.
No, I got angry when I saw that Theo Squires piece as well, when he's talking about top four.
But Hussam, these are the same people that told us last year without any signings we can win the league. So why is it now that you're telling me after 2 signings I can't win the league? And don't tell me to be respectful. Do you know why I'm not going to be respectful? Because he's not respectful to the fan base. Because when a fan questions him, he speaks with arrogance. Because when the fans did something, the first article he wrote was plane flies over new stand. If the new stand you want to celebrate so much, don't let City win in a treble bother you. Because if you want to win a treble, you need to show ambition on the pitch, right? So if you're going to start digging the fans and gaslight the fans, guess what? You're going to have to hold it. And you're going to hold it when I say deep down, you make babies cry when a baby looks at you. It doesn't want to play anymore. When the sun's out and in Spain on the coast, a baby's going, "Mother, can we go to the beach and play a sandcastle?" Mother goes, "Yeah, but here's Ian Doyle." The baby goes, "I'd rather just stay inside. I don't want to build a sandcastle anymore. I don't want to build a sandcastle." How? Just let me land. How do you have a face that makes a baby not want to build a sandcastle? How do you have a face?
How are we on a sandcastle analogy?
And you have the audacity to be arrogant about it. Don't laugh. Look how red I am. I'm hot. It's because it's the gaslighting of the fans. The fans don't deserve that. We do not deserve that. Prick. But go ahead, Tom.
Go on, Tom. I don't know how you could top that or what you can say after that, to be honest with you.
I think the only part I want to touch on is the stuff with the plane. Obviously, I wasn't as big a voice regarding it as you two were, but seeing the overall media reaction to it was incredibly disappointing in a sense. We are not asking for anything outlandish. We see what this club can be. We see all the hard work we've done to get into this position. And we are stagnating. And
We are.
football waits for no one. It's one of my favourite sayings. Football waits for no one. Arsenal, City, United, Chelsea, Newcastle, they're not just going to sit there and fucking twiddle the thumbs for 3 years while you wait for us to pull our things out our arse. They'll keep getting further and further ahead. This plane was a strong message. And to see it just get completely shut down, completely refuted away with no actual logic behind it. It was just, look at what they've done in the past. I can easily sit there, like I just did with the stands and everything, go find everything good these owners have done, and there will be an ulterior motive, or a way that it was the club that funded it, or it was the way that it was the club that done it, or other staff that done it. I'm not expecting owners who are perfect. God, no, I'm not. But I'm expecting owners whose ambitions grow with the football club. I'm expecting owners who actually have the club's best interests at heart, not the best interests to grow their finances. And the reason I say this is because we, as a football club, this is the best I've seen us by a country mile, by an absolute country mile. We were unanimously the best team in the world, and that hasn't happened since the 80s. And we have pissed it away. We've completely pissed it away through
within
ignorance.
24 months, within 18 months, by the way, Tom. 18 months.
With ignorance, with laziness from both parties, from the manager and the coaching staff and the owners. Everyone who's played a part has pissed away this thing. And me saying that I want Kone, MacAllister, Thuram, I shouldn't be sitting here saying I want them, but that is the sad situation that they've put us in. That's the sad situation that we are in. And it's a sad situation that we shouldn't be in. We should not be in this situation. Like it blows my mind. And the plane's a really good idea. The plane, I love seeing these fans being able to voice their opinions, because whenever people question FSG, you'll get people from within the city go, "You wouldn't protest at Anfield, would you? You wouldn't do this at Anfield," blah, 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 blah. Basically trying to flex the fact they live in a city. Oh, some fucking flex there. Then you actually do. You actually go find a way to protest. People fund the plane. People make the voices heard. And then they try and shoot that down for no reason. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. They're giving Scousers a bad rep. They really are, because we are one of the most welcoming cities. We've got some of those welcoming people you could know, us Scousers, and like we said earlier, the vocal minority just give it a bad rep, and it's a reason why I get annoyed at certain people when they just say, "Oh, the Scousers are this, the Scousers are that." It's not the Scousers. It's the minority, and it's not just the plane, the stadium, Anfield, one of the best atmospheres around. It's turned fucking shite very quickly, because one of the best things they've done was the Boss Nights, getting Jamie Webster to host these 3-hour-long concerts with all Liverpool songs. It's actually had a really good. Poor Scout of Tommy's my favourite chance. That wasn't getting sung for ages. It's now come back in full force, and I love it. I love it.
My favourite chant.
But it's completely disingenuous because what's ended up happening now? What's ended up happening is the people that go to these boss nights and create good atmospheres are not the same people that go to the games. The ones that go to the games are old fuckers who feel entitled because they've been watching Liverpool for 40 years. So sit there with a fucking grumpy face, not getting involved. Tourists who I have no issue. In fact, I'm very thankful for the tourists because they are the biggest income stream for this club. But my issue and my gripe comes with the ones who go to the game and then sit on the phone. I didn't grow up on the
just said
Whittle.
no, dumbass.
I did not grow up in Garston for 14 years to just now be told I grew up on the Whittle. I wish I had done, but I hadn't. Anyway, the tourists who, they're fantastic, but the ones that don't engage, the ones that don't try and embrace the culture, that's my issue. That's my issue. I'm not asking for loads. I'm just asking that we try and improve it, because what this club has and what this club thrives on is having stuff other clubs don't, with a fan base, with an atmosphere, with heritage, with history, and we're pissing it away for nothing in return. That's a stuff. We're getting nothing in return. We are funding some fucking NFL teams, a baseball team, a future NBA franchise. We're funding that. Our club. We are bigger than any of those institutions ever fucking will be.
Yeah, we
FSG do not understand that we are bigger than they ever any of their institutions ever will be, and that is not a knock on those other sports. It is the simple fact of the matter: is football is just global. Liverpool is just a global institution, but they're treating us like we're a fucking mid-table institution.
Yeah.
The final thing, FSG, and it's the first thing I said on the first team I came on here, Sam. FSG bought a mid-table side that with aspirations of top four. So they funded it like a top four club. We then, after fucking a shambles of an attempt, got top four. And then we usurped it. We made the Champions League final. We suddenly started title challenging. But they never adjusted the budgets. They never sat there and went, oh, we need to start spending more money. We've improved, so we need to keep trying to keep pace. They stuck with the same budgets. Then we won a Champions League and a league title. And they didn't have to increase the budgets. So now, when we are in desperate need of them to increase the budgets, they pissed away all the money we made earlier in the stands and in the training ground, which they should have funded themselves. And instead, we're sitting here now going, I've only ever had to fund you as a top four club, and you've made me boatloads of money. I don't care about your success. Keep making me boatloads of money, so I'm just going to keep investing the same amounts. And that is not how it works. That is simply not how it works. Because 150 million in one summer can buy you 3 midfielders and a centre-back. The next summer, 3 midfielders. The next summer, a midfielder and a centre-back. The next summer, a midfielder. And all of a sudden, this 150 that previously was able to rebuild a squad now covers one hole when you have 4.
You can't do it. They just don't have the capital. They don't. Do you know what it is, Tom? You hit the nail on the head, and I've said this a few times. Whoever owns Liverpool, call me arrogant, say I'm expecting too much. I expect Liverpool to be the most prioritized asset they own. Forget everything else. Everything else is second to Liverpool. Liverpool should be number 1. Call it the emotional side. But I go back to it. This is Liverpool fucking Football Club. This isn't a small business to own.
Imagine the PR you would get. Look at how much FSG get defended. Despite everything they have done wrong, FSG get defended and lauded as saviours. Now imagine if we had genuinely brilliant owners who cared about the history of the club, who cared about the morals of the club, who had the best interest of the club solely at heart and were not focused on making money. They would be painted out like a messiah. They would be painted out like the best thing that's happened to this football club in 15 years. They would be lauded like you wouldn't believe, because we're not asking for 500 million a window. We're not, because guess what? I'm quite happy with 150 a window. I am.
Tom, do you know what makes it really ironic? Really ironic. Had they bought us a MacAllister in and a Kone kind of sign in two windows ago, we'd sit here and we go, that's what we need. We just need small adjustments. But now, because the gap has got so much, they've left themselves in a position where you need ready-made. If they didn't
We
need to
kept
do
kicking
that,
the can down
yeah,
the road. It just
we
kept going
didn't
and
need.
and now it's too big. It's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big a problem. It's too big a problem to ignore. I
They
said
didn't.
it
They
on,
didn't
I said
address
it
it
on
at
the
the
space
root
earlier.
cause. They didn't address it at the root, Tom. They didn't address it at the root.
And it's grown and it's grown. Look,
It's grown.
what we have now, we have a house. We have a lovely estate with lots of history, but we have a broken down car. We have a broken door which squeaks every time you open it and lets in too much air. We've got a smashed window, and we've got paint that is peeling at every single possible opportunity. FSG now are not going to be able to address these problems to restore it to the state it was in. What they're instead going to do is buy a Renault and hope that it magically just grows into one of the most valuable cars in the world. Buy a cheap door and hope that it magically just grows in value. Buy a window and hope it magically grows in value. And paint it with cheap paint and hope it magically grows in value. When in reality, when the car broke down originally, just go buy a better car. And then the problem's ignored. You don't need to worry about it. We just kept cutting corners. We've got a black and white flag in F1. If you watch F1, you'll know. You keep cutting corners, you get a warning. Then you get another warning. Then you get a third warning. Then you get a black and white flag. And that is one away from disqualification. We're on the black and white flag. If we kick the can down the road again, if we keep waiting again, if we push it back one more year, we'll be cut off too much.
And Tom, you know what's the part of the whole thing? The Qataris, yesterday I was on one of their spaces where they were talking about the purchase of Man United. The Qataris have fully confirmed that they really did want Liverpool first. They really actually wanted to come buy Liverpool, but FSG only wanted to sell a minority. That's the thing that
they want.
Getting on my last nerve. I'm just thinking, like, you wanted to sell a minority, but you wanted to buy an NBA franchise. So are you just trying to keep us as like your cash cow on the side?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Exactly.
But how would they even run it this way?
What do you mean? They bring somebody in for instant investment. They say, okay, you have 15 to 20%. That person puts in, I don't know, maybe a 20%, 30%. That gives FSG the leverage to buy transfers. On every deal, they put in 20, 30%. That's it. It's the English saying, you want your cake. What is it, Tom? You want your cake and you want to eat it? What is it? What's the saying?
I don't know. It's like, I prefer the one, you made your bed, so you lie in it.
Yeah, you made your bed, you still lie in it. But this one is, I can't remember what it is. Cake.
Honestly, I actually did listen to a space today, and it was with all like the official Qatari people, and they were genuinely saying, like, bro, like,
do you know how concerned I am about this minority as well?
They really wanted. No, but Tom, what got to my nerve is I'm not talking about like Abu Sakhr, like random guys. No, I'm talking about people with the blue ticks, official Qatari people going like, guys, we actually wanted to buy Liverpool first. And they said the only reason they denied that they wanted to buy Liverpool first was so they could get the Man United fans on their side. But the true story is they said two things. They said FSG were too greedy, and they said FSG only wanted to sell a minority. So I'm just sat here like,
the thing that worries me about the minority is this. Not the club. This is the difference. FSG have sold stakes before and got minorities from Redbird, and there was another one, Articos or something. They made about $1 billion off that. Two 500 plus million things. It was like 1 billion or 1.1 billion is what it ended up adding up to. And they said that was going to be reinvested back into their organizations. We saw none of that. We saw none of that. So what's not to say that this minority that we're going to get now is not going to be the same thing? Because if it's a minority in FSG, which who knows, it could well be, because it's just went fucking silent on that front. If it ends up being a minority in FSG, all the stuff they told us about how once we get the minority investments, it'll all be all right. Bollocks again, because it comes back to the same point. We cannot spend all the owners' money. We have a lot more leverage room because we haven't spent for ages. But we can't spend the owners' money, which then comes back to our main point now. The smart business decision was for these owners to spend out of their own pocket to fund the growth. Because guess what? The only person who would have made all the profits from the growth was you. It was you. You would have. I wouldn't have cared if you were here longer. I wouldn't have cared if you were here another 5 years longer, just so in your head you could get your money back, just so you could make your return on investment, whatever. Because guess what? We would have a lot more money to spend then. We would actually be able to sit at Europe's elite table for transfers. And I don't need to buy Europe's elite transfers every single year.
No,
but
just
right now we
once.
do.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right
right
now,
now we
right
do.
now we
Right
do.
now we do.
Right
Yeah.
now we are in a situation where we do.
And we
Because
put
we are
ourselves here, Tom. We put
do-
ourselves here, Tom.
Do
We
you
put
know what I'm
ourselves
looking at, Kurdish? When I say I think we can challenge in 24, 25, that is based on us bringing in 4 to 5 players this window, and all of them having blinder seasons and
Oh
developing
yeah.
really well.
And
I'm going to sit there and say that can happen because I'm a Liverpool fan, but deep down I know that's not going to happen.
Tom,
So then
Tom,
what happens?
can I say? And all this is the big thing. When we got it right, and we won everything, we had to get everything right. Barely any of our signings didn't make it. Lightning doesn't strike twice often. For us to have any chance, we're asking to do everything right again. And just hear this, We did everything right and got everything correct pretty much, right? And we barely touched Man City. We're expecting to get everything right, and you want me to go up against 3 state-owned teams. It's asking the impossible. Because you need to get every box you have to get pretty much right. Every transfer has to be a hit.
It all just comes back to me for I think that it was a sliding doors moment. Is that what they call it? The January of 2021 when we had no centre backs.
Oh God.
I sit there sometimes and wonder how different.
Kabak and Ben
played
Davis
out.
is what he's referring to, by the way.
I wonder how different it would have played out if we had actually, not saying we would have got Canati because I know he wasn't available, but there were other centre backs who were better that were available.
Of course.
Well, if we'd have just bit the bullet and
even Kalatakar, like someone like that.
If we just bit the bullet and brought them in, we wouldn't that league title that year because guess what? We were top by a country mile on January. City hadn't turned up yet. City finished that season on 86 points. It was like 50 odd. January.
Take away. Forget. Canati is not available. Go pay 20 million above the release clause. You're breaking the mold once. You're doing it in an odd occasion for a very special, rare occasion. Do you hear what I'm saying? We don't have to live and die by doing things this way. I don't understand.
Guess what? That's back-to-back league titles then. That is a massive thing. That is even more money coming from the club. That gives you even more motivation for the next year because we know what happened next year. Quad charge when everyone was back fit and we realised the squad was ready. If we'd had a league title the year before that, Van Dijk would have come back even more motivated. Matip would have come back even more motivated. The players would have come back even more motivated. We probably would have done a third one. Because you would have more money, which would have been reinvested in the club. We were literally, if this club had just bought in the fucking January instead of waiting until deadline day for Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak, this could have been all so much different. Different.
Do you know what it is? It's the butterfly effect. One small thing just kicked on so many others, and this is it. Look, if we all understand what the expectations are, I'm okay because it means not everybody's going to get onto Klopp. I just don't want to hear start of next season people come out and say Jurgen Klopp needs to be sacked because he's not won the league. Fundamentally, we're all adults here. We realize the players that we're getting. And by the way, sorry, I know I've gone off tangent. We don't know if the Barella thing is true. But do you know if Barella thing is true, do you know why he would go to Newcastle over us? There's only 2 reasons.
Champions League football?
No, nonsense. I don't buy that.
A player doesn't move for 1 year.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Do you know what it is with Sam? There's 2 things. One, either wages, or the other thing is Newcastle have said we'll pay 50-60% up front. And you know us, can we do £5 installments, please? Can we do £5 installments for the next 50 years? That would be the only 2 reasons.
The Jota one is the most mental. Do you remember how much they were championing that we when we bought Thiago and Josh in the same window, we only paid 9 million up front.
Yeah.
And then you look into it and we were paying 22 the next year. Like it doesn't just mean that we only paid 9 million this year. It'll be 9 million next year. No, it adds up. It eats away. And the final thing, we are going into next season with so much uncertainty, with so much confusion. The way I see ownership in football, it's a big game of risk. You've got to manage risks. You've got to take risks. You've got to, you've got to decide on big things or not. Liverpool Football Club should be taking big risks, but FSG don't want to because FSG don't like this model of ownership.
When you're not looking, he enters from the roof. He
What
said,
does that
like,
mean?
like,
What does that mean?
like, one of them like army officials, like who come in with a helicopter and he's just jumping and jump roping his way through the building. Like,
these owners don't want to take risks because they don't see the rewards. They don't see the instant rewards. There's a reason why they own so many American sides. There's a reason why when you look back at their biggest scandals in England, it was to try and Americanize the sport. They do not like the open nature of the sport. They do not like the fact that we can make less money. We cannot qualify for things. They do not like that fact. But you know what? Our fans eat it up. Our fans love it. I guarantee you. I 100 million% guarantee you. If Project Big Picture had come out in little drip, instead of coming out with one big bang sort of thing, where everything dropped at once and everyone like, whoa. If it had been drip fed out, if it had been little bits carefully PR'd out, I guarantee you there'd be so many Liverpool fans who would have been all for it. Because the FSG know how to drip feed. FSG have been doing it for years. FSG quite literally tried to break the model of football as a whole and then got put out the single worst fucking apology video I've ever seen. And they got away with it.
Yellow flower.
They had fucking yellow flowers in the background.
Tom, do you remember when the first plane went up after the first plane? So I remember United, the plane went up on a Sunday. On the Tuesday at 10 o'clock, the Echo and Dave Powell did the interview with John Henry. Do you remember? And John Henry and Dave Powell, what did they tell us? Investment is coming. Do you remember? That was the article. Investment is very close. Dave Powell tweeted 3 days ago, no further signs of investment. So this is the PR we talk about. Because the plane was fresh on their mind, they thought, let's go to any investment. And the fan base, they lapped it up. They believed it. Where is it? Where Dave Powell? Because Dave Powell tweeted me back originally. So I tweeted him 3 days ago and I said, hi Dave, you told me the investment was very close. We're almost 2-3 months on. Where is it? No further news. So this is what we talk about when we say PR, when we talk about actually brainwashing people. As Tom said, they're very good at it. And do you know what? If they weren't, I'd be worried. If multi-billionaires were not good at PR, I would be worried. But actually, it's what they're masters at. As I say, anybody, after the plane, go back and read the Echo article, the interview.
Oh, I remember those first 48 hours.
No, Hussam, he said investment is closed. The same guy from the Echo 3 days ago and said there's been no further news on investment. So what does that mean? What is happening here? Do you know what is happening?
PR.
No. Do you know what's happening? It means John Henry is knocking on every door saying, I'll give you 15% if you can fund 200 million and you can have 15% of the business. And do you know what every owner is going? It's going, what are you smoking over there? Do you know what he told the Arsenal? That's what they say to him. What are you smoking over there? Every owner is looking at him and saying, listen, we understand Linda's got a boob job to do and we understand Linda needs a new yacht, but we ain't funding it because we ain't idiots. We're not idiots like the let me not talk, like Ian Doyle, who's happy to fund Linda. Do you know what Ian Doyle? Do you know why Ian Doyle is so happy to fund Linda? Because he's never seen women in his own life. So as soon as he sees someone remotely attractive, he's happy to just throw the cash at her. OnlyFans prick.
Give me 10 minutes with Linda. I promise you we're going to get investment more than we've ever done our whole life. Big up to Ryan who says, big up my brothers. United are getting Qatar. City have Abu Dhabi and Newcastle have Saudi. We are finished as a club. I despise FSG out all day. You know why I love Ryan? Me and Kurdish and Tom actually as a trio fully changed his opinion. He fully has become a Klopp inner now.
Yeah, he was a Klopp
and just fully FSG out. Like he was more Klopp out than Tom, but he fully turned. Like he's just fully FSG out only. And fully just like Klopp in. So, even though one of the panel members decided that he wanted Ruben Amorim, we're going to let it go. But thank you so much, Ryan. Big up to you for the super chat. Pond says if Qatar by United means that state-owned teams take points from each other. We don't want to win the league because we can't beat relegation teams. No, but that's just cap. Because here's the thing. It's as simple as that. I have a Honda. I upgraded my Honda. I beat the Ferrari in a race one time. Now I'm going to race against a McLaren, and I'm going to race against a Mercedes, and I'm going to race against this, and I'm going to race against that. So the race has just become 100 times more difficult. And exactly what Kurdish just said should be just the absolute fact.
Also, the time we beat the Ferrari was when it had a fucked up engine.
Exactly. We did all of that, and we beat City once to the league. Only one time we beat them to the league. After that, it just went to the shits.
Yeah,
On my
it means more. The way we did it means more.
we get more likes on the announcement tweets and everything.
On my knees
do you know how much it grinds me when I see them tweets from fans comparing the fact that we got more likes on a tweet than they did? Oh, fucking dick measuring contest on fucking twitter.com. My dick measuring contest would be, what trophies have you got? What can we put on the table? Fucking Community Shield. They can put on a treble. But no, guess what? Guess what, guys? Oh, Alexis MacAllister announcement got more likes than their 17th tweet about the treble. I wish we could tweet 17 times about a treble. No. We tweet about fucking MacAllister and the Argentine city where he was born.
Hey, I've made Tom angry with MacAllister. I've won tonight. Look at him. He was all happy about
MacAllister. It's the people who sit there and celebrate these fucking meaningless things. You know what's stupid? We keep seeing every single time City win a trophy. Fans go back in the archive and try and find when we won the trophy last. Yeah. So they can find how many likes the tweet got then. And Tom, I still see the fucking tweet from when we won the Champions League in 2019. 2019, 5 fucking seasons ago. They pull that up to go, we got more likes then. Look at my big dick measuring contest.
Is History FC back? Is that what's happening? Is History FC back?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, we can't do. And do you know what, Tom? Just on MacAllister, this was the thing last week when I was not happy and I was getting on to everyone. I love MacAllister as a player and the fee is fantastic. But my thing is, my anger's still here. That's why I wasn't happy about MacAllister. It wasn't that I disliked the player, but
I think MacAllister's going to be boss. It's actually not.
So do I. I agree. But this is the thing with me. I'm tunnel vision, Hussam. So when Klopp is doing well, when Klopp is doing bad, when we get signings, when we don't get signings, I'm tunnel vision. I don't deviate. You can bring me MacAllister. Even if I'm happy, I'm not going to show you I'm happy because my eyes are on the problem. I can see the problem, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that completely. On my knees for York to pull off something big. But this goes back to what Kurdish and Tom have been saying all stream long. Well, why should you be on your knees as the supporter of Liverpool Football Club for us to pull something big? Shouldn't that come as a normality to us? That's the problem. Big up to Ryan, who he 100% sent this by mistake, but I'm not going to refund you. But thank you so much, Ryan, for the super chat.
All right, John W. Henry, calm it down.
100%. Unpopular opinion, if getting rid of Klopp will expose FSG, I'll take it in a heartbeat. Having Klopp means overachieving, high expectations for sustaining. But this is just nonsense. And I'll tell you why it's nonsense.
It doesn't need to be exposed. It doesn't need to be exposed.
It's exposed already.
Yeah. It's there for all to see. All it takes.
Qusay, all you have to do
to say something. Because you know what? You said something earlier. You said something earlier about Konate. I haven't seen the whole stuff about Konate. I knew he said something, but I haven't seen the whole carry-on afterwards because I've been at work for the majority of the day. That Melvin Wood fella, whatever his name is, slagging him off. Imagine if Jurgen Klopp then came out and said, I want more transfers. I want new signings. Is he going to slag off Jurgen Klopp? Is he going to say,
yeah, he will.
He will.
That's the crazy thing. He will. The crazy thing is he would.
Because then we're stuck in two minds. Either we have a genuinely the most deluded, crazy section of a fan base I have ever seen.
We do.
Or all it takes is the manager to realise he's the most powerful man at this football club and to actually throw his weight around a little bit. And then it'll all click into gear because FSG know they won't get anyone better. And FSG will most likely sell once he's gone because they will simply not find anyone as good at making them money.
Do you know the maddest thing? Human psychology. The most dangerous thing to a man is his ego. And what this has become for that portion of Liverpool fans we talked about, Tom, it's become ego and wanting to be proven right. So Konate can come out and speak out, but no. Konate can't do that because my ego needs to be proven right. Do you hear what I'm saying? And that's
I say stuff. I don't have a fucking fragile ego like the people who wank themselves to sleep in their own because they can't get any action. Guess what? I'm more than happy to be proved wrong. That's why we watch the fucking sport, because it's unpredictable, because we don't know what's going to happen. I've said so many things. I've predicted so many things that have never happened, that haven't happened. I don't sit there and then go, oh, well, fucking this and that and that. No, that's what happens. It's what happens. FSG. You know what? FSG were good owners 5 years ago, in the same way that Joe Lenson was a good footballer 5 years ago. But times change, times evolve, and sometimes parties don't keep up. And when a party doesn't keep up with the evolving times, with the changing times, you let them go. It happens in workplaces. It happens in every other walk of life except Liverpool Football Club. We're the fucking exception. We're the club outside of time, apparently.
Yeah. It's weird.
And that's why I don't think sacking Klopp is going to change anything. Exactly what Kopish just said. It's become an ego thing. All I know is I look at Chelsea Football Club and I know the way they sacked Tuchel and just went to the shits for them. If we sack Klopp, I know for a fact we're just going to go to the absolute max of the shits. Let me tell you right now. It won't help us do anything. That's just the truth. Zlatan says Ian Doyle is the ice spice of journalism. Boring and untalented.
Horrible.
Kopish, do you approve?
Oh, hey, listen. Here's my stamp of approval.
Big up Zlatan, Habibi. The echo is being fed copy. I think you meant crap directly from Boston. Copy as in copy statements. Multiple times now they've quoted sources in Boston. They're basically FSG propaganda. Oh, they absolutely are, and we know this, and that's why Kopish's head was hot, mine was hot, Tom's was hot. You can't come out and tell me top 4 now. Like, with all due respect, I'm 4 points away now anyway. So, like, what? MacAllister is going to make me 4 points better off? Well, I hope so. Like I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on in people's brains, bro. Like, 4 points. Is that it? Is that it? Big Liverpool Football Club. Big up to you, Payrad. Akhi Hussam Kopish is having a flash to that point when he broke up with his girlfriend, letting it all out. And then he says, it is safe to say Kopish is not inviting Ian Doyle to the falafel cookout.
No, he's
I
not.
promise you he isn't.
Do you know why I'm not inviting him? Because he's so blandless, he's so colorless, he's so tasteless, so spiceless. He'll have a flaffle and he'll make a scene because he's never tasted anything so spice in his life. Man wakes up and has grits for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times a day. Just raw grits. I can't stand him.
This is the funniest rant anyone's ever done on any person ever, like, in the history, bro. Like, and I love it. I love it, wallahi. Thank you so much, Zlatan, my brother, for all the support you've shown us. We are doomed, no hope. I miss my generation fans because they will take matters into their own hands and FSG would have to run for their life. FSG and Klopp out. Chombe, you had us in the first 80 minutes, and then that last 10 minutes of that super chat had us. I don't know how you say all that and then say Klopp out. I agree with the whole first part, though. And this is why, you know, we fly planes. This is why we protest. This is why we say FSG out, so people can understand how much we hate these bastards. But thank you so much, Chombe. Timothy says, I can't believe y'all would stay up this late. Anytime to hate on FSG, me, Kopish, and Tom are awake. Let me tell you right now, if I tell them it's a 3 a.m. video to hate on FSG, they'll be there. Don't worry about it. Big up to you, Timothy. Javid says, let's be realistic. FSG won't sell. We are stuffed. I think they will do eventually to buy an NBA club. Like, isn't it like in a year and a half, I think 2 years from now, where you officially can buy a new sports franchise?
They need to have the funding. They need to have proof of funding, or proof of funds, should I say, sorry, by January 31st, 2025.
Yeah. And what's the proof of funding? Ownership of Liverpool Football Club. That's enough proof. They own a $6 billion institute. Do you think that's not funding? Come on.
No. It's just that's the earliest it'll happen. But even though we don't know how they might try and find a way to leverage it so they can keep hold of us, because we all fucking love each other, don't we? It's a very fucking mutually respectful partnership where we love FSG and FSG love us.
Yeah, they love us. They love us. They love us.
I hate those people. EPL talk about a cap for the bottom club earning this is FSG. They won't spend money anyway. You know, Joe, let me tell you, there's something that me and Tom and Kopish haven't even discussed, but we don't have enough time. Thank you for the super chat, though. But you know what it is? You know what's even more scary than anything? Next season, Liverpool don't even have to finish top 4 to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Liverpool, based on heritage, no, you're putting up 5. You're also wrong. Based on heritage, Liverpool could finish anywhere in the league above 17th. and we would qualify to the UEFA Champions League.
These
Because
are
our
the champions.
because our coefficient is so high, we could finish 16th and still be in the UEFA Champions League.
Do you know who can never do that, Sam? Ask me who. Ask me who.
Arsenal.
Arsenal Football Club. You
I knew it.
mugs. You mugs.
I
Listen.
knew you were going to say
Listen,
that.
You know, technically, if Arsenal finished outside the top 4 next year, there's other clubs in other leagues, even in the Premier League. Sorry, so let's say the top 4 next year was Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Newcastle. Tottenham will get Champions League football ahead of Arsenal because the coefficient's better.
See, that's what you call an unserious club. Honestly, you think Ian Doyle gives you no colour.
Chelsea's coefficient's better as well. Sorry, I forgot about Chelsea. Chelsea's coefficient is much better.
Tom, that's because Chelsea have a European trophy. They're just a bit of
Yeah, Chelsea have better coefficient.
Just a little bit of self-respect. You know, something Arsenal will never understand. Imagine, right? You've booked a holiday with the lads, right? Or even with your missus. You're going, I don't know, somewhere in Europe.
You don't have no missus?
No. Tom is going to Milan. Tom is going to Milan for a weekend break just with his missus. And all of a sudden, he's in Milan and the Serie A is on. And he starts chatting away. They're having a pint. And the guy says to him, Tom says to him, oh, yeah, Arsenal are doing this well. And the guy says, Arsenal, the team that have 0 European trophies. And the guy says to Tom, I'm going to beat you up now because you told me you understand football and you talked about Arsenal, who are irrelevant in any context of real football. Irrelevant. A team that means nothing to anybody because it's a team. Arsenal. So I thought somebody put Arsenal with European heritage in the comment. I thought, what? What European heritage? Listen, my cousin in Kurdistan has got more European heritage than Arsenal. And he doesn't even have his passport yet. He's not even landed on the lorry. In a couple of months, one of my friends in Kurdistan is going to come off a lorry and he's going to have more European heritage than Arsenal. Maybe not more, the same, because they're going to have the same passport.
Do you understand how peak it is for Arsenal? When you look at all these other top European clubs, we'll just even stick with England for now, and you ask them, what's your best European night? And then we can sit there and go, that night in Istanbul, that night in Madrid, that night in Rome, that night in Paris. United can go that night in Barcelona, that night in Moscow. Chelsea, that night in Munich, that night in Porto. City can now go that night in Istanbul, or that night at the Etihad when we stuck 4 past Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. What do Arsenal have? When we beat Barcelona in the first leg, 2-1 and got knocked out in the second leg.
No, do you want to know what they have? We got to a final in Paris, and then Henry left us, so we'll always remember that final. He left us for the team that beat us. So the team that beat us in the final at Paris, Henry left us. So that final is always going to be memorable. And Henry left us to win the trophy that they beat us to. Just let that deep in. But we're still going to cry.
Kurdish basically said Henry.
Did Tottenham have more memorable European nights than Arsenal?
But we're still going to clap for Henry like he's a legend, even though the team that beat us, he left to win the trophy that he couldn't win with us. Makes sense. But then sorry, Sam, this fan base is the same fan base that was cheering on Granit Xhaka after he threw their captain's armband on the floor. So what do I expect? It's my fault. It's my fault for having high standards of Arsenal fans. That's on me. That's my own expectations. This is the fan base that cheered Granit Xhaka after he threw the armband and told them to fuck off. This is the fan base. They don't deserve to be respected in Europe.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if like Andy Robertson did that?
Can you imagine any of our players did that, Tom? Genuinely. I
mean, the only time I've ever seen Jordan Henderson get shit is when he got subbed off against United when we drew 0-0 and he ignored Klopp and fuck me the carry on then afterwards. And he didn't even tell Klopp to fuck off. He just walked past him.
I'm trying to think what's worse: waking up every day and realizing you're Ian Doyle, or if you're an Arsenal fan.
I think definitely Ian Doyle is worse.
Do you think?
How ironic would it be if Ian Doyle was an Arsenal fan?
Double comeback. Yeah, anyway, man, big up Arsenal.
That was so unnecessary. But yeah, anyway, Joe, as I was saying, we could finish.
It's always fun stuff about Arsenal, isn't it? And
no. Guys, it's too late. I want to end this. Listen, thank you, guys.
Do you remember how they clowned us for that Salah penalty miss just for their star boy, Bukayo Saka, to do the exact same fucking thing and cost them a Premier League title? He cost them the Premier League title because they took the piss out of Mo Salah for missing. Saka just done it even worse. And then they threw it away to fucking Southampton, who are dog shit. We drew 4-0 with them away in what is one of our worst performances of the season, with Matip and Gomez at centre-back. They rocked up at the Emirates in a title game. Even worse, Manchester City. All our games against Manchester City, when we've been in title challenges and Kej can back this up and Hassan can back this up, they've been tight affairs. 1 goal in it, draws. It's very hard to separate. Arsenal rock up to the Etihad, where I think our record at the Etihad has been bar 2019-20, where we cantered. In two seasons we were competing, we lost narrowly 2-1 in what was regarded as the best ever game of Premier League football ever, and drew 2-2. Arsenal rock up, first title challenge, hold 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4.
Challenge.
4.
Curtis, you want to carry on with him? No problem. You can let you guys go.
I just don't like that it's a title challenge. It's not a title challenge when you lose it with 6 games to go. Like what we do? What are you talking about? Hey Tom, I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Arteta.
Arteta who?
Arteta, you going to stop being so mediocre?
Oh.
Hey, Tom, I got a question.
Okay,
I got a question. Why is the devil so happy?
Why? Why is the devil so happy?
Because even Jesus couldn't win the Premier League for Arsenal.
Do you remember all that stuff they were doing about, Jesus is going to rise on Easter Sunday and fight Arsenal to the Premier League title just for them to throw it away against us?
Tom, I've got another one. What trophy did Arsenal win this season?
What one?
The invincible one.
I want to put the thing. Honestly, for a title challenge, you got to sit there and you got to be competitive right until the end. Arsenal's last 9 games, they picked up a grand total of 12 points. 12 points in 9 games. 12 points out of a possible 27. 12.
Hey Tom, how'd you make an Arsenal fan become a millionaire?
How?
Tell them to save up for a Champions League final.
They think they're doing it next year.
Yeah. They think they're doing the double next year. Oh,
mate, they are fit. They think Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, all these players who have 0 pedigree, 0 winning experience, are going to go into the hardest competition to win in world football, in world club football. They think they're just going to walk in, saunter in like they own the place, and fucking piece of piss. When their greatest ever side couldn't even get out of the semis.
Yeah, they can't do
fucking Wayne Bridge.
Well, it's funny, Tom. It's ironic. Do you know what is the similarity between Oscar? Is it Oscar Pistorius? Oscar Pistorius and Arsenal. Do you know what the similarity is? It's funny you talk about it. Ask me what the similarity is.
What is the similarity between those two?
They're both used to losing with both legs. That is funny.
Do you know what the best part about the season was, though? They gave me life. I'm a rim prop that I never expected to get from this season. I'm a rim dunked on them at the Emirates.
Hey, Tom, final question. Why did the Super League invite Arsenal?
Why?
They needed someone to finish bottom of the group.
I remember when it came out. Do you remember the day the Super League got announced and Arsenal were playing Fulham and they drew 1-1 thanks to a last-minute Eddie Nketiah winner, and he shushed an empty crowd as a celebration?
Yeah, that's because he sees no difference from when they're there anyway in terms of atmosphere. So what do you want him to do? Hey, right, shall we lock this off? Where's the Don?
I'm suddenly a lot more happy. I
Yeah,
suddenly have
big
a
up
burst of
Arsenal,
happiness
man.
and
I'm
energy.
glad. I'm glad Arsenal can make you guys
That's the
happy. I
thing.
just was in the background letting you guys do your thing. Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. I don't think there's any point talking about anything Liverpool any further. Big up to you guys. Make sure you're all slapping the like button. Make sure you're all subscribed. And speaking to Arsenal fans, if there's still any watching us, tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. inshallah, I'm gonna do a video with Troopz and Carefree Lewis. We're gonna be talking about Kai Havertz to Arsenal and Declan Rice to Arsenal, 1:30 p.m. UK time. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm actually going to create the stream for it. Me and Lewis are going to crash it on Troopz. We're going to talk about Declan Rice as well. So make sure you're slapping the like.
You think they're going to win a league title next year with Kai Havertz up front?
Make sure you're slapping the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Big up to Amin, Momo, the guy whose second name starts with Y. Big up to you. Big up to Balaji, Depay, Toby, Selection, Joe, JK, Qusay, Here to There, Sidi, Payrad, Will, Pond, Zlatan, Chombe, Timothy, and Javid for the super chats. Big up to you guys. Big up to every single person who sends in a super chat. All the people who have shown us all the love and support. My new Twitter is in the description. Just hit the link. Follow me. I didn't block any of you. It's just a new account. So make sure you go follow it. We're going to go around the lovely people. They're going to let you know where you can find them. Kurdish Ball 93. Where can people find you, Habibi?
Before I do, can I tell one more joke?
You can.
Okay. Why do so many housewives love Arsenal?
Why?
Because they stay on top for ages and then come second. Anyway, big up. This is football. 14k subscribers. Big up everyone in the comment section, man. Do the thing. Follow the channel. Big up the Dom. Big up Mr. Tom Little. Listen, man, you can find me in the spaces. Kurdish Ball 93. You could find me losing my head often at FSG through the timeline. And if you don't like it, guess what? You're going to have to hold it. Recently, I've had a revelation where I've thought, do you know what? I don't care if I piss top reds off. So you can hold it deep on your chest the same way Arsenal fans hold it that they don't have a Champions League. Big up.
Big up. Tom Little, where can people find you?
I'm going to throw my own joke into the ring. We know Kim Kardashian was at Arsenal this season. So what's the similarity between Kim Kardashian and Arsenal?
What?
They both have a preference for getting fucked under the lights.
Oh, lovely. We like it. And Kim's more entertaining. So what do we do here?
At least Kim got to finish.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so where can people find you, Tom?
You can find me at Tom Little with a 1 on YouTube, TikTok, just the works. I've got a little bit of happiness now.
I'm glad you guys are happy. Yalla, see you guys later, man. Slap the like, subscribe. See you tomorrow, inshallah, at 1:30 p.m. UK time. Yalla, love.
Big up.